32 for the engine and 830113 for the Venturi. With the serial numbers of the Venturi and the missile engine at our disposal, we were able to identify the very Buk missile that is of interest to the Joint Investigation Team. So how did we do that? Well, we searched the archives of the Buk missile manufacturer, the Dolgoprudny Research and Production Enterprise, known as Dolgoprudny Machine Building Plant in Soviet times, and found the documents that helped us determine the missile's stock number. We're mainly talking about the technical documentations filled out by the manufacturer for every product and kept in the archives on the premises, regardless of whether the product stays on Russian soil or not. The documents we are showing you include the logbook for the 9D13105000 Venturi with number 830113 and logbook for the 9D131 missile engine with the factory number 8869032. As you can see on the slide, the serial numbers of the 9M38 missile parts presented at the GIT briefing and the numbers for the components assigned in the technical documents from the Dolgoprudny Research and Production Enterprise archives that we're showing you today are identical. The engine logbook clearly states that the Venturi is its integral part, installed on December 24, 1986. According to the engine logbook, on the same date, December 24, 1986, it was installed on a 9M38 missile with factory serial number 8868720. Please note that the missile containing these parts, well, the engine and the Venturi, was assigned 8868720 as its factory number. Apart from the engine logbook, the information confirming that the engine, factory number 8860932, demonstrated by the GIT, was installed on the missile, factory serial number 8868720, can be found in the consolidated table for primary and final assembly configuration of the missile, also kept at the Dolgoprudny Research and Production Enterprise archives. The missile, with factory serial number 8868720, was assembled on December 24, 1986. This reliably confirms that both the engine and the Venturi demonstrated by the GIT to the public during the May briefing came from the 9M38 missile with factory serial number 8868720. Now we will briefly explain what stands behind that number. First digit, 8, means that the item was produced by the Dolgoprudny machine building plant. The second and the third digits, 8, 6, state the year of production, 1986, while the last four digits, 8720, are a unique factory serial number of the specific missile assigned by the manufacturer. Ladies and gentlemen, now that we know the product's serial number, we can take the logbook of received products kept by the Military Representative Office of the Defense Ministry to determine the official military stock number of the missile, as well as the exact military unit it was meant to be sent, the date when it left the factory and when it was finally received by the military unit. After finding out the factory serial number of the missile 8868720 and its production date, December 24, 1986, we studied the logbook of received products on 9M38 products manufactured in 1986. This logbook contains sensitive national security information classified as top secret. Such logbooks are meant to be kept for a very long time, which allowed us to find the information regarding the movement of the missile with factory serial number 886-8720 after so many years. Moreover, the importance of the discovery compelled us to make an unprecedented decision to declassify the relevant part of the document. Here it is. The entry number, which stands for the movement log of the 9M38 missile with factory serial number 886-8720, is 74. As you can see, this entry features only the last 4 digits of the serial number, which are 8720. The explanation is simple. As we said before, digit 8 stands for the place of production, which is the Dolgoprudny machine building plant. The second and the third digits, 86, signify the year of production, 1986, while the last 4, 8729, are a unique factory serial number of the missile. From the first page to the very last, this logbook was kept for the products manufactured only by the Dolgoprudny machine building plant and only in the year 1986, which is why the first 3 digits, 8 and 86, were never put in any of the entries. According to the established procedures, after assembly, each missile was given a 9-digit stock number, where the first digit 8 stands for the place of production, and the second and third digits for the year of production. Looking at entry number 74, you can easily see that the missile with factory serial number 886-8720 was given the military stock number 886-847-389. Now we know that the engine and the Venturi presented by the GIT during the briefing are parts of a missile with the official military stock number 886-847-379. And here comes the most exciting part. We will tell you now who received it and had it as part of its arsenal. The missile with stock number 886-847-379 for the Buk missile system was sent via railroad to military unit 20152 on December 29th, 1986. It has been verified that the military unit did receive that missile. A receiving report was made with the appropriate entry made in the logbook of received products. Now let's focus on military unit 20152, which received the missile in question with stock number 886-847-379. Its current name is the 223rd Anti-Aircraft Missile Brigade. In 1986, this brigade was part of the Prikarpatsky military district and was deployed at the town of Terebovlia, Ternopil region, in what was then the Ukrainian Soviet Social Republic. It was equipped with the Buk anti-aircraft missile systems. Following the collapse of the USSR, this brigade was not redeployed to the Russian Federation. Instead, it was made part of the Ukrainian armed forces. Upon the decrees of the President of Ukraine, this brigade was named the 223rd Terebovlia Anti-Aircraft Missile Regiment. Currently, this brigade is still equipped with Buk missile systems and is now stationed in the town of Stry, Lvov region, Ukraine. What's of particular interest is that since 2014, the units of the 223rd Terebovlia Anti-Aircraft Regiment have been engaged in on an ongoing basis in the so-called anti-terrorist operation on the territory of the Donetsk and Lugansk regions of Ukraine. We have now reliably established that the engine of the 9M38 missile with number 886 9032 and its Venturi with number 830113, presented by the GIT, are parts of the 9M38 Buk missile with stock number 886-847-379. In December 1986, the missile was delivered to the 223rd Anti-Aircraft Missile Brigade, deployed in the Ukrainian Soviet Socialist Republic and currently part of Ukraine's armed forces. The missile, with stock number 886-847-379, is in service by the Ukrainian armed forces and has not been returned to the territory of the Russian Federation from the Ukrainian Soviet Socialist Republic of Ukraine, or Ukraine. The Netherlands has been informed about it. The findings related to the missile's production in 1986 and its delivery to the army have been confirmed during interviews with long-time employees of the Dolgoprudny Research and Production Enterprise. Experts have also done extensive research. The evidence sourced by us and presented to you today is beyond doubt. The evidence is here and available for your review immediately after the briefing. Also, should the GIT investigators have an interest in reviewing it, they will have to send an appropriate request, and we will then be ready to meet with them here in Russia. Thank you. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not all. Top Russian experts reviewed the video materials that the GIT presented as proof that a missile launcher from Russia's 53rd Anti-Aircraft Missile Brigade was supposedly present in the Donetsk and Lugansk regions and had something to do with the MH-17 tragedy. The team of our highly qualified experts confirmed that these videos were falsified. Now, please look at the screen.
Российские специалисты исследовали видеоматериалы, представленные совместной следственной группой по расследованию причин катастрофы рейса MH-17, и установили
Russian specialists
ключевых видеозаписях, иллюстрирующих самоходной огневой установки
studied the material,
по украинской территории. Здесь мы покажем
and now we will show you
закон линейной перспективы, известен художникам еще
what we
с
found.
XIV века. Согласно этому закону, все удаляющиеся вглубь изображения параллельные горизонтальные линии должны встречаться в точке схода, расположенной на горизонте. Для проверки соблюдения закона линейной перспективы во фрагментах видеозаписи,
This is the linear perspective law.
проведем реперные линии по горизонтальным деталям зданий, параллельным между собой и визуально параллельным элементам проезжей части. Все реперные линии встречаются в одной точке схода, расположенной на горизонте, что соответствует закону
As you can see, this confirms the linear perspective law, and as you can see on the slides,
не совпадающие с точкой схода элементов проезжей части ни по горизонту, ни по положению. Это указывает на фальсификацию видеозаписи.
these lines, the fact that they misalign,
Выполненные из проезжавшего автомобиля,
show us that this video have been falsified. We can see that the image of the book and the trailer were planted onto the video, and the road that allegedly shows the transportation of the vehicle also shows that the law of linear perspective is broken, it's breached, and we've checked all of the videos, all of the images show that there are different, the lines are misaligned, which is not supposed to happen if the video were real.
В этом эпизоде наблюдаются признаки монтажа видеозаписи, связанные с нарушением условий освещения объектов.
Also, we can see that the lighting of the object is not correct, because the vehicle allegedly carrying the book, is supposed to be lit from its right side by the sun. But as we can see, there is an object in the left part of the cabin that is lighted in the same way that the front part of the cabin, which violates the law of the lighting, because this other part was supposed to be lighted in a partially. There should be a partial shadow. Also, we can see that when the image is far away, it is in low detail, but when the vehicle comes closer, we can see that the details become there are more details, while the book itself, the book missile launcher itself, remains in low detail, which shows that it is falsified. According to the text accompanying the video that was
При анализе видеоизображения нельзя не заметить, что бук на всем протяжении анимации перемещается задним ходом. Здесь расположены смотровые люки экипажа самоходной огневой установки бук. А вот так она обычно движется своим ходом.
This is how the book system moves on its own. Also, the book is shown moving from Snezhnoye to Pervomaiskaya. The book system does not have back mirrors.
Но в таком варианте ее внешний вид не соответствует изображению бука, отображенному на фотоснимке. В эпизоде, отображающем перемещение бука по Луганску, также было выявлено множество признаков фальсификации видеозаписи. Так, иллюзия движения камеры и изменения фокусного расстояния была создана путем анимации статичного
There
кадра,
was
о чем, в
animation
частности, свидетельствует отсутствие
of a
шевеления
static.
листвы, деревьев и кустарников. Правая аппарель трейлера отобразилась
The right
развернутой
ramp
против
on the
часовой
tow truck
стрелки
is turned
и подключенной
counterclockwise at a significant angle to the left ramp, which would make attaching it to the tow truck impossible. During the whole fragment showing the book launcher's movements, we see an unnatural angle of the tow truck cab. If we juxtapose it to the road and the back section of the book launcher that is parallel to the road, we don't see the tow truck's roof, which means that the tow truck's cab was shot at the roof level or lower. But it would have been impossible to film this missile from that point, and we clearly see it in the image. These examples showing discrepancies in the shots of the area book launcher missile and the tow truck, as well as some other inconsistencies, prove that they were made as static images in different conditions, then edited and animated to fabricate the video. Using this unsophisticated editing technique, you can drive anything down the street, not just a book missile launcher, but an Abrams battle tank, for example. Colleagues, the documents and expert assessments that we have presented to you today should give you a much better idea about the MH-17 crash in Donbass. This is conclusive evidence that Ukraine was not just involved in this tragedy, but it also manipulated the international investigation. We also came into possession of a 2016 audio recording of phone conversations between Ukrainian servicemen. This is yet another piece of evidence that confirms our conclusions about Ukraine's direct involvement in the MH17 crash. We will now play a part of this recording to you. I hope you will pardon the profane language that some of the Ukraine's top-ranking officials use so casually. We will play the original recording so that there are no doubts about its authenticity. Please, addressing the media, please note that there will be profane language used in the videos, in the audio. But then again, it's the original recording, and there should be no doubts. Grinchak here. Hey, Sergey. What? What? Why the... What experiment? Just do the test, that's all. What do you mean? Force them. I don't get it. Why did we bring it? Come on. Of course through him, of course through Levchuk. He's the boss of the group. This is the no-fly zone. The Malachit may have a malfunction, Why did we bring the Pelican? To locate the no-fly zones. Why do they listen to the Navy? Why do they never listen to us? What's the difference? I'm telling you, our Navy, so that our Malachite can work. Do you understand? Infantry, what do they know? What do they know? They should take responsibility. Come on, Sergei, that's not serious. Take Levchuk, take Kirivnyuk, and say, hey, if this keeps going on, we will take down another Malaysian Boeing, and everything will be great again. That's all. That's what we will tell them. This conversation took place in 2016 near Odessa, when a unit of the Ukrainian radio-technical troops was getting ready for the Rubesh 2016 military exercises. They were setting up the Malachite radar. Please play the final part of the recording again. Take Levchuk and say, here, hey, if this keeps going on, we will take another goddamn Malaysian Boeing down, and everything will be great. Russian specialists did a forensic audio analysis, reviewed video materials from the Ukrainian media, and came to the conclusion that this is definitely the voice of Ruslan Grinchak, colonel in the Ukrainian army. You can see the photo of this man on our slide. He is currently first deputy commander of the Air Force Command West of the Ukrainian Air Force. It's worth noting that in July 2014, Colonel Grinchak was the commander of the 164th Radio Technical Brigade, number A1451 of the Ukrainian Air Force. In July 2014, units of the 164th Radio-Technical Brigade were deployed in the Kharkov, Sumy, Poltava, Dnepropetrovsk, Donetsk, Lugansk and the Zaporozhye regions, scanning the airspace over Ukraine, including its southeastern regions. As you can see on the slide, the itinerary of the MH-17 aircraft lied through the 164th Brigade's radar detection zone. In other words, Grinchak knew exactly what was happening in the air over Donbass because it was his job. He also knew about all operational tasks and performance of the anti-aircraft systems deployed in the so-called anti-terrorist operation zone. So his phrase about another Malaysian Boeing that they could shoot down confirms he was aware of the circumstances surrounding the MH17 crash and proves that the Ukrainian military was directly involved in this tragedy. The MH17 aircraft was led by Ukrainian air traffic controllers and their radars. But Ukraine still hasn't made the data from their radars public. Colleagues, I'd like to note to you that Ukraine still hasn't provided any information regarding the location of its book units on the day of the crash. It has not responded to questions regarding the increased activity of its Kupol radar stations either, nor has it published the records of conversations between air traffic controllers. This clearly proves that Ukraine is abusing its position as a member of the joint investigation team seeking to manipulate the investigation. Why the international investigation team tolerates this is a separate issue. Russia has repeatedly expressed its doubts as to whether the JIT did the right thing by allowing Ukraine to participate in the investigation and trusting it to be a valid partner in this process. Ladies and gentlemen, we are convinced that the information we shared with you today simply cannot be ignored, as it provides critical evidence that the missile used to shoot down flight MH-17 belonged to Ukraine. At the same time, we all remember how the JIT essentially ignored the primary radar data provided by Russia, which clearly indicated the only possible approach paths of this missile. But we still expect that this time the JIT will not be able to ignore the evidence we have presented to you or question its authenticity, because it is one thing to base our investigation on videos posted online, which are so easy to falsify as we saw today, and it's a completely different thing to rely on hard facts. I would like to reiterate that the Russian Federation is highly interested in an impartial investigation of the crash of flight MH17 that happened in Ukrainian airspace on July 17, 2014. Throughout the investigation, Russia has done everything in its capacity to establish the truth. Thank you. Colleagues, we have presented to you the detailed information on the results of the briefing of the joint investigation team. So if you have any questions, please, you are welcome to ask them. Suraev Ivan, Russia Today, news agency. My question is to you. The data you presented today, have you given this data to the Netherlands, and have you received any reaction from them, any responses from them? Well, the information about the missile was sent to the Netherlands, will be sent as soon as we receive a message for them stating that they want to see the facts. They are welcome to review the facts, the documents we presented today, if they wish to do so. But I'd like to emphasize that, considering the facts that we've uncovered, we call on the JIT to ask for the archives of the 223rd Anti-Missile Brigade for the documents regarding the movements, the origin of the missile system, of the missiles, because these documents are stored in those archives. Of course, we understand that after this briefing, the Ukrainian side will have an opportunity to destroy these documents or state that they had been destroyed earlier. They could say that this missile was transferred to the territory of the Russian Federation, had been transferred earlier, but then again, it's one thing to make some ungrounded statements based on nothing, and it's a different thing to present hard facts and real hard evidence, as we do. And as I've said, there should be documents about this missile system in the Ukrainian Anti-Aircraft Brigade, and we believe that Ukraine is responsible for finding these documents. You've answered this question to some extent, but then again, what if Ukraine says you received the missile after the Crimean events in 2014, and that this weaponry remained on your territory after Crimea reunited with Russia? Well, we expected a similar question, a question like that, and we've prepared the answer. Out of the 214 anti-aircraft missiles currently at the anti-aircraft brigade in Ukraine, near the city of Yevpatoria, 209 anti-aircraft missiles were 9M3801 modification missiles. So these are not missiles that is searched for by the JIT, but 5 missiles are the missiles that basically are the same that's in question. As you can see, the year of production is different. It says it's 1984, not 1986. as the Buk missile in question, and the production number is 884. And as I've stated before, 84 signifies the year of production, which in this case is 1984. But we are talking about in 1986 year of production. We also have documents that confirm all of this. Thank you. Good afternoon, Alexei Prokin, NTV channel. Could you tell us, is there a possibility, a probability that this missile could have been captured by the Donetsk or Lugansk fighters? Well, we don't know if Lugansk or Donetsk republics fighters or militia have captured this missile. We don't have information about that. But earlier, we've heard, on many occasions, we've heard statements by officials, by Ukrainian officials, that not a single anti-aircraft system, not a single anti-aircraft missile ended up with the Lugansk or Donetsk militaries or militias. And so, basically, Ukraine itself have stated that this is impossible. Leonid Petraria, Izvestia. Regarding the falsified video, why did you even bother to analyze the video? Because earlier it was said that you're not going to even consider using these videos as evidence. Thank you for the question. Well, I'd like to point out to you that Russian experts, after the briefing that took place in the Netherlands earlier this year by the Joint Investigation Team, the Russian experts have based their analysis on the video showed by the JIT. And we have shown in detail that this video has certain problems, certain inconsistencies. And so, if someone falsified this video, since it was presented by the Netherlands, we understand that it wasn't falsified by Russia, it was falsified by some other party. I'm not a foreign journalist. Alexander Grishin, Komsomolskaya Pravda. The Defense Ministry earlier said that after the expiration date, after 25 years, in this case, the missile is destroyed. Why aren't the documents destroyed? Why do they remain? Well, there is no connection here. The documents of the use of this anti-aircraft missile is preserved, and the documents we've shown to you are produced and maintained and archived at the manufacturing plant, as we've shown to you. Colleagues, we are out of time, but could you please introduce yourself? Kommersant newspaper. Petro Poroshenko made a decision to stop the friendship relations between Russia and Ukraine. Did you expect such a swift reaction? Thank you, Alexandra. I'd like to note to you once again that the topic of this briefing was to show to you the new evidence, the new facts that we've obtained, and that our experts have obtained. I think that right now it's the first priority is to analyze and to understand the data we've provided to you over the past hour. And so we want the JIT to use this data, to analyze this data and use it in their own work. Thank you.